we have got a bit of a screw loose around this show lately. And you know what else has got a bit of a screw loose? The lights over in Epcot.
No.
Just the ongoing saga of these darn lights, gentlemen. You see Blog Mickey here says me trying to hang a picture, and it's just screw hole after screw hole after screw hole of them. Like when I just moved and I like took things down off the wall, this is what it looked like for me, that I had to then space. So, yeah, we get some spackle in there, guys. Everything will be fine. You'll get your security deposit
toothpaste
back. Don't worry.
Yeah, toothpaste. No, this is like having the boss try to hang a TV on the wall. Like, you know, I just know when I take it down, it's going to look like Swiss cheese.
Now, I was over at Epcot recently, actually the day that they added this, and I took some pictures as well, Vash. I think you have those. It was a very empty day at Epcot in July, or as I like to call it, Deadcot. It was just beyond empty. But the lighting, guys, not only are these ugly screw holes just everywhere in this lighting now, but it's popping up again. It's like I saw it just the other day. They're starting to pop up again after they had screwed them down to prevent this happening. So more tripping hazards appearing in the center of Epcot. What is wrong with these people? Why can't this should at this point, rip it all out, fill it in with cement, and be done with it?
I mean,
am I wrong?
You would think so. Oh no, you're not wrong. You would think that they would actually do that, Marvin. But you see, that requires money and forethought and permitting and all these different things that they don't actually want to do. They want the quick fixes, you see. And well, I guess the quick fixes, you have to use a little bit more screws than maybe you originally intended right there. But I just, want to illustrate, and your photos are in here, Marvin. I assure you,
like a bad organ transplant. The park is rejecting it. Sorry,
yes, exactly. They're rejecting this remodel, not taking it in. But this is a year and a half that we've been dealing with these issues right here. We've had two separate versions of these lights right here. We've had a multitude of different solutions for this. And throughout all this time, Epic Universe's in-ground lighting still works. We haven't been getting any reports that they haven't been working accordingly right here. But here, it's just, this is the one thing that Imagineering can't do. Remember, Horizons used to have a saying, right? If you can dream it, you can do it. Walt Disney always said, it's fun to do the impossible. Well, apparently, for Imagineering, this is impossible.
Yeah. I don't think they're having that much fun, though.
Well,
exactly.
I mean,
they haven't done it. So they're not having
modern Disney is the antithesis of the old Disney.
And Dreamer's Point is the antithesis of the idea that Walt had this incredible optimism and hope for the future, that if we all work together and we all dream together, we could build the impossible and make it our reality.
So true. It's so true. Mm-hmm. And when you are focused on things like shape language rather than function.
And so what we've tried to do is really bring that shape language from the architecture. But what we love to talk about at WDI is shape language. And we often refer to shape language.
There's such iconic shape language in Spaceship Reverie Attraction. We really wanted to make sure that we fused to that throughout the space.
Well, this is the result.
Yeah, rather than, functional working ideas for the future that will last for 25, 30 years before you muck it all up.
Would the shape language of these these in-ground lighting fixtures be considered a speech impediment? Look at that! Look at that! That is a busted chin right there. Is what that is.
Yes, and that's why you have the roped off areas right there. That's why you have those those kind of
look at
movie theater.
Look at this kid. This kid running around on that. I took this video, and I remember that kid ran around on top of that planter for like 2 minutes, completely untouched by Disney cast members. No one's.
Well, it's in the rain.
People are allowed to just be terrible all day, every day in these parks.
Well, and again, the solution to that is just to station a security officer there, looking all grumpy. But
labor.
But look, let me argue this: she was safer running around on the bench than she was running around on the ground.
Yes. At least the bench was smooth when you were running around on the floor there. Well, or on the grounds there. That might be hazardous to your health. And that's the thing, right? Because these things keep popping up, that's why they have to use multiple screw holes or screws in order to keep them down. Just want to go ahead and illustrate. This is where we started a year and a half ago. right? This is where we started. Everything working, everything functioning, everything lining up. And actually, Geo82 made a point that the lighting inside that bar actually lines up with the lighting out here. And so you would think that that would be even more of an impetus to do something about this. But no, we have no functioning lights from what I can tell, or hardly functioning at all. And now we have ugly tripping hazards that they can't keep down. It's ridiculous in a park that had fiber optic lighting for 20 plus years, Culture?
More than that. You have to remember, it made it all the way through the 35-year celebration. So you look at these cement surfaces that had these 1,000 pinhole lights in them because of the fiber optics. It was amazing, right, Marvin? I mean, the constellation at your feet was really cool. And this was a park that looked forward. It took technology and used it in a different way that would, nobody had seen before. And that was kind of the theme of this park, is like, here's where we are, here's where we could be. There's nothing that looks back at that. I mean, when this lighting is working, it looks pretty cool. But you could have done this with EL wire. You could have done this. With illumination, the side light fiber optics. You could have done this with a lot of other technologies out there that you already have experience with. And, you would have laid your silicone, in over the top of these things, and it would have illuminated through. Apparently we don't understand translucent materials anymore, or resilient materials anymore at Disney. I mean, I always sound like I am like the grumpy old curmudgeon guy, and I promise you I'm not. There are 1,000 ways to make these things like work the way you like envisioned. It's just nobody bothered to move that direction. Oh, look at this new material we can use. This is super environmentally friendly, but it's not going to work for more than a year at a time. That's a problem. I don't care how environmental friendly something is if it's not going to work long term. I'm sure there are environmentally friendly materials that would last for decades. And look, if you want to be a green park, there's very little evidence to support that idea at Disney these days. Especially with the amount of Chinese mush metal and things like that are engaged in just regular parts of the park on a daily basis. So
true.
Regardless, I've been frustrated by this since they put it in, because it has never been exactly right from day one. And that's the other problem with Disney, right? It just has to be good enough. Okay.
At this point, just cut your losses. Just take them out. The lights never work anyway. It's not going to bother the experience. I would rather there be no lights than there be lights that don't work, or lights that are going to trip my grandmother.
Yeah. No, I'm
so
with you.
sad.
Cause her to break her hip.
Epcot used to be the showcase of technologies of the future, and now we can't get current technology to function properly in this theme park to the point where it's better to opt out of it entirely, and that is a real shame. It's super unfortunate. What they have to do is redo this again. That's what they have to do, but they want the quick fixes and so forth, and it's going to continue to look ugly. Meanwhile, you have a sinking dock over there at the Morocco Pavilion. You have sewage leaks and falling ceilings over there in the Land Pavilion. This park needs all kinds of work, but we must spend all those resources on here to try to get a concept that Imagineering installed a year and a half ago to actually function correctly. It's ridiculous.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.